Welcome to the Bold Analysis. Kindly subscribe to our channel. Last year, the Inspector General of Police, Japhet Kome, promoted 500 officers against the constitutional provision that should be the mandate of the National Police Service Commission, just like teachers are managed by Teachers Service Commission. The human resource manager of our men and women in uniform, according to the constitution, should be the National Police Service Commission. But the all-powerful office of the IG has been involved in a brawl with the NPS Commission. So I wanted to follow this and find out what exactly is not going on, is not being said here. In October, the National Police Service Commission advertised some positions and ranging. They were not employing police officers. They were actually employing internal auditors, head of finance, principal capital management, accountants, communications, and different officers. 7,400 applicants applied, and 184 were shortlisted for interviews. Now, the National Police Service, the interviews are conducted between 7 to 14th in December. So the National Police Service Commission, according to the Nation, invited the IG to take part in the interviews, but he reportedly declined to participate, leaving the panel to the Public Administrative Secretary and members of the Commission, including CEO and the Deputy CEO. Even the DCI did not attend the interviews. And that was simmering. That was about the simmering conflict between the IG and the other office. So the successful applicants reported to work yesterday, the 10th of January. They reported to their workstations. The 51 of them, orders came from above, and they were blocked from getting entry into their offices. Remember, they were supposed to report the premises. The offices are supposed to be around the deputy, the Inspector General of Police, the Vigilant House. But police barricaded the gate, executing some orders, and they were turned away to go and report the National Police Service Commission that they cannot work for IG. So this is a situation where someone wanted, employment is done and all that going on. But after these fellows going through the interview and all that, it failed. And you remember, one of the things going on here is the IG has been insisting that he wants to take control of the management of the Kenya Police, of NPS, that is actually mandated on promoting those officers. Well, the National Police Service maintains that is the office. It is the office that is supposed to do it. And in fact, if you copy the architecture of the Teacher Service Commission, you will actually argue that they are right, that they are ones that should be in charge of the human resource at the police department. And Ruto-Kindiki came out publicly in what was seen as a rare defense of the NPS against IG, to call them out that their public outburst is not helping the situation. So someone today, of course this story came out yesterday, And one person who was supposed to, amongst the 51, actually went and was revealing about what exactly happened there. And he's telling me, Kevin, I'm already scared. I don't know whether it is even safe to go and work there. And even if I am going to be given another office, my bosses are those on the other side of the IG, and they are in disapproval of my work. How safe am I? He told me that he was saying, actually confiding to me, that given an opportunity even to leave the work, not to report and leave the work, it will even be fair, because he's even feeling like kama tunafukuzwa na polisi na hawa ndo wanafaa kuwa mabosi wetu, how are we going to work? The offices are already toxic, and they've been asking the relevant authorities to come through for them. But where I'm seated, I'm seeing more than what catches the eye. It is not new, and it's not something that should come as a shocker to see that happening, because clearly there's some interest that at play. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos. Thank you very much for those who've been supporting us, supporting our podcast, and supporting our programs. I'm glad that apart from just political analysis, we've also been supporting the community. We are part of the larger community. That gives me great satisfaction. And may God bless you as we continue to win in our different endeavors. Number one, there is a bigger influence, and the corridors are actually seeing a bigger influence from the house in the hill. Because, look at it this way. Inspector General is under discretion of the minister, even though it's an independent office. But there seems to be, even the minister in charge, Ruto-Kindiki, is a bit incapacitated, or like he's not much into it. And the State House camp interest is playing outrightly through these two different, to serve these two interests. And I want to show you these interests. I'm seeing a camp that are believing that we are the crusaders, or rather we are the shareholders, and it is about us that should take up those positions. That camp is very strong. That camp is out, and it's a camp you cannot easily defeat. That's the first camp, that we are shareholders, and there seems to be rebelling, or rather engineering, the hostility of the people that have been employed there. Because I know government employment is a big lobby. There is lobbying and competition and quite a number of interests. Before you're even given a job, you must be screened through different lenses. You go through the tribal lens. If you pass the tribal lens, you might go through the party lens. You go fail the party lens. You might go through your pocket lens. How much do you have? How much have you paid? You go through a lot, by the way. You'll go through a lot. You even have political interests. So many things come at play. And that's how that interest is going on. Number two, the other state of interest falls in something I want to explain using a scenario, something that happened just last month. There could have been a secret scheme to ensure that employment, or rather that NPS is incapacitated, made irrelevant, diminished, and that role of employment be taken back to the Public Service Commission. Why am I saying? As we speak now, there is a bill that is to be presented in Parliament. I think maybe it has been presented, maybe the first reading has been done by the Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah. That bill is seeking to stop Attorney General, number one, from appointing senior members, senior lawyers as senior counsel, and number two, appointing Solicitor General and the Deputy Solicitor General. Why? The AG had argued that they are the custodian of the profiles of these lawyers. So before someone is even appointed as, before someone is appointed as Solicitor General and even senior counsel, it is them that know their profiles compared, and they're the ones that have probably the competency to decide on who should get and who should not be promoted. Just like TSC is the one also that promotes teachers. So that bill is seeking to stop Attorney General from those two roles and take back those roles to the Public Service Board, Public Service Commission. Now, appointment by this NPS Commission is being squashed. In the long run, it will end up being a scheme that will show us, if you can't, the temperature will come out to show that those roles should be taken back to the head of public service, taken back to the tutor. So those are how the two interests are seeing, and that is why there could have been those 3 orders for those 51 Kenyans to be blocked from taking up those offices. Number 2, this is outright scheme to sabotage Kindiki, to expose Kithure Kindiki's underbelly. Kithure Kindiki is amongst the 2 cabinet members that rarely travels out of the country, even though they make numerous local travels. That is Kindiki and Machogu. Since they were appointed in cabinet, they have never gone out of the country on official mission, on official meetings. They've been working within our boundaries. And despite the fact that and there is something he has done, he has tried to shed off the political portfolio and has just taken over the public service, the cabinet portfolio fully. Despite of the fact that that docket is very challenging and has a lot of misgivings, the latest ratings have been showing that he's amongst the ones that have been trying to perform, best performing. And this war rests on his ministry. There is something on his ministry. And some quarters might just sit back, engineer this to sit back and see how maybe this is going to expose how he's not in control of the ministry. And that could be the interest of the people that are pursuing that fallout. You can take away everything from Kindiki, but you cannot take away the fact that the Nithi man has tried to hold grip and ensure that everything works on his favor. Now, I tend not to get it. And maybe William Ruto has to blame himself. And why he's the engineer of all this. In the run-up to last general election, not in the last general election, there was a promise that for me to fight corruption, I will do 2 things. Number 1, I will give money to judiciary. Number 2, I will bolster the office of the Attorney General so that the Attorney General's office can actually do better and can be the office that can be run independently by not begging the executive for the money, and that they can run without political interference. That was what was the promise. So we created an all-powerful Inspector General of Police. We brought up an Inspector General with all the entitlements. And that is why we have to blame ourselves for part of this. We are, as ourselves as a country, we are the ones that created this. Maybe we have ourselves to blame. I don't know what you think. That is my bold take on this. I would also want to read your feedback on what you think about this. Thank you.